Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do kind of a market wrap up across all of the different commodities. We'll look at the dollar, 10-year yield, go through gold, silver, and all that other stuff. Commodity driven, and I'll give you my financial opinion. So let's get in here. Let's dive in, see what's going on. Here's the dollar. We got the DXY. Again, this is a relative strength indicator of the dollar against other currencies. It looks like we do have potentially, a little bit of squeezing up here, and it broke to the upside. Now, is this a false breakout to the upside where we roll over and head lower? We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out because sometimes they break above this. We call it kind of a throw over top above a wedge, a squeezing wedge. And again, guys, I'm not saying that this is necessarily a squeezing wedge. It sure looks like it. But is this an over the top where we roll back over? Difficult to say. But right now, the dollar is higher. It was up 0.05% on a daily perspective. Just a little guy, and it does look like it's contracting, like it wants to turn and roll over. When the dollar is weaker, it does put a tailwind behind commodities. And one way to slow down the commodity train, so to speak, is to increase the value of the dollar, to push the DXY higher. You can do that by increasing your interest rates before everyone else does. And I think that's kind of what's going on here. Everyone else is, it becomes all a relative game. And if they're trying to play with, trying to keep inflation down, they're playing that game as best as they can. They're increasing interest rates before everyone else. And we've got this strengthening dollar. Here's the 10-year yield. That continues to go up. We are up 3.3% today. And we've got a bullish engulfing yesterday, so it is heading higher. Is this going to put in basically we come up, we hit our head on that resistance, we broke it, came back, and are we going to hit our head on that resistance again and roll back over? What that would mean is if we get a chart that looks like this, is that we have a recession ahead of us, that there's worries or fears in the market. But that hasn't played out yet. So we'll see what happens. We could also break on top, go on top of it, and head higher, which means that we've got an inflationary problem on our hands. Which way is this going to go? Yeah, we'll find out here. We will find out. Looking at the CRB index, we're getting some buying pressure today. That looks really good, very strong, nice, strong finish. But I'm going to put the but in there. We have had a lot of strong selling pressure as we come down. That momentum is still there. We probably need to work that off a little bit before heading higher. So there is that momentum that's there. And this here is basically a gigantic wave higher. We get our pullback. And then perhaps we go into a wave, another bigger wave that comes behind it. Maybe not. Maybe we go into recession and this pulls back even further, where you basically get a pullback, something like this, down to like the 190 range or something like that. But right now, we'll see what happens. But we've got a bounce happening at this moment. Gold was basically flat. We're at that support level. We'll see if that support level holds. Silver also going flat today, just moving sideways. We do have some momentum coming behind this move. Platinum up today. We've had a 36%, basically a 36% retracement. Getting a little bit of buying pressure today. This is a bullish engulfing. Hopefully we can head higher with the platinum getting that bullish engulfing on the candlesticks. Again, I'm not saying that this is the ultimate bottom. We do have some momentum heading lower in this area and commodities in general. XAU to gold ratio, we are popping a little bit higher today, but we are still in that overall downtrend. We need to break this downtrend before happiness begins for the mining companies. I've been waiting for this break for a little while. I was hoping we could break it somewhere in that range there, but we have not broken yet. Have not broken yet. Looking at GDX, again, we've got some buying pressure today. We are still below a support level, which is this support level going across here. We're dipping below it. It's not the end of the world or anything, but we are still in downtrend mode. And SILJ, just looking at SILJ, we're also bouncing off this white support line that you can see that we've used a couple of times as support and resistance in its past. Moving down to crude oil. Crude oil was strong today. We're up 3.86. This is a bullish engulfing, which engulfs the ones before it. Are we going to see a move higher out of oil? We'll have to wait and see tomorrow and see what kind of action comes about. Again, I'm not in the game of short-term trading. I've bought this back where this circle's at, and also in this area, and all through here. I've been cost averaging in all the way up in this thing. On this pullback, I'll cost average in again wherever this thing ends up being, and I'll continue to get my shares. Is this the ultimate bottom? I don't know. It sure looks like around $92 to $94, somewhere in that range. Somewhere in this range here is a good bottoming section that we've hit multiple times, and we've got good support there. So we'll see if that support holds or if we go higher. The fundamentals look good for oil to go higher if you were looking at it from a fundamental inventory perspective. Now, natural gas, we're getting a pop higher here, 12.76%. Keep in mind that the Freeport LNG terminal is down still, and that exports a lot of liquefied natural gas. It has an impact on American gas and has an impact on European gas. European gas, being as high as it is, will look for substitutions like coal. They'll also look at burning oil. So a lot of people aren't thinking about natural gas prices in Europe and the connection between those natural gas prices and possibly burning a lot more oil. We're talking millions of barrels per day of oil more than natural gas. But that's what I'm seeing here is a nice, good, solid update today. We'll see if this thing can turn around. It's nice to see, some buying pressure today. But we've had some pretty good momentum lower. We'll see if this thing goes sideways for a little bit and then chops sideways and then heads higher eventually. XOP, yeah, you know me. Looks like we're getting close to that bottom that I like. We came down, we get that, and then we get this nice little piece here. Now, is this the complete bottom? We'll find out. Let's see what tomorrow brings us. And a lot of the companies have bounced quite dramatically today, but there's a lot of momentum behind this move lower. A lot of momentum that needs to get worked off. And sometimes they V-bottom, which means we have a very brief bottoming type pattern. And it's up to you guys and what you want to do and what you want to buy. If you're interested to see what I'm buying, definitely subscribe to the membership, the Platinum membership below in the description link on the website. And you get access to all of what I am doing on these pullbacks. But right now, we're getting a bounce, and we have to see if that bounce is sustaining. Coming on down, the energy service companies, again, we've got that nice kind of looking pullback. Are we going to get one last kind of move where we come up and come on back? I think so, but we'll find out. Again, not trying to make short-term predictions, but we have a lot of momentum kind of coming behind this, and I think it is slowing down some, and I think we've got a little bit more to go, some sideways action. So that's what we've got for energy service companies. Looking at uranium, we'll go straight to URNM. URNM popping higher today. We are at that support resistance area that we're at. So we'll see if the buyers come in here. We're seeing the overall markets beefing up all over the place. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ. We'll take a quick look at it here real quick. And we're right on support. So uranium's looking good. We just got to hope that the momentum continues. The volume is still quite low down here. I'd like to see a little bit more volume kick in, but it is what it is. And the Sprout Physical Uranium Trust, it is at support. It's got strong support right where it's at. We got to see if this thing holds. And I'm just waiting for buyers to come back in. I'm not really doing much at this moment, but it's looking a little bit better than what it was before. Scrolling on down, solar is actually looking quite juicy, as weird as it sounds. But this looks good to potentially head on higher for TAN or Invesco Solar. I don't have a huge allocation to solar. It's very small, but this does look good. And usually what you get is this side on the left looks like this side on the right. The way this thing fell is it fell coming down, and it got in this pattern here. And then we went sideways, and then what happens is you get in that same type of pattern. And it mimics the side on the left, and then eventually you'll break. This side is this side. It's very similar. So that's what we have in TAN or solar, Invesco ETF, and that's up to you on what you want to do with it. But I'm not really doing much. I'm sticking to my other energy sectors, but this does look like it wants to go higher. And there's a few companies that look decent. Looking at copper, this is COPX. We had this massive sell-off, and we're doing a retest of the breakout. It's actually popping off that support line. Again, we have to see if this holds. There's a lot of momentum coming down through here. A lot of momentum. So we got to work that off and then work our way higher if copper is going to go higher. CRB to S&P 500. We've got a good, nice bounce today. That looks really good. Now, is this a shoulder head, type shoulder movement? We'll see. But good move today. That's looking good. Platinum also was very strong. It looks like it was outperforming in the ratios as well. We've got lithium moving sideways there. We've got rare earth metals getting a little bit of a bounce. Are we seeing a type of basically kind of a squeezing up of this pattern here? Maybe, maybe not. It's getting, we'll see. Is this kind of squeezing up here where we're about to move to the upside? We got to see the buyers come in here, step in and push it out of these descending or falling wedges and break higher. Lithium is also getting a bump here. It looks pretty good. We've broken this downtrend, kind of came back, and now we're starting to work our way higher here. It looks like we're trying to break out of almost this downtrend-ish line in that general vicinity there. We break up. Lithium's starting to look a little bit better. And some of the lithium companies are looking better. The S&P 500 heading higher today. The downtrend isn't broken yet, but the NASDAQ's looking a little bit better. The composite index breaking higher today. So that's looking, U.S. composite index is looking a lot better. Coming on down, the home builders, XHB, that continues to move higher as well. We can put a trend line that we haven't broken yet, but you know what? We're probably going to break it here soon if we continue on our upward trend. But we have not broken out yet, and this is kind of a return move lower. So we broke out, did a return move, and is this next big leg up coming? Is this kind of that first leg to break us out of this entire consolidation period and then a big move higher? We'll see. Again, I don't want to try making short-term predictions. This is where we're at. This is what it looks like. This is what everything looks like. Lumber is rocketing higher here over the past month. This month here, we've been rocketing higher, up 6.77%. That bodes well for new home builds. I know interest rates have kind of come back off their highs a little bit. We're starting to see lumber recover, and we're starting to see the home builders recover. A lot of people are pretty negative on home builders, but I see strength. That's what I'm seeing here. Looking at some of these other ones, like nickel is basically moving sideways. I know they've got this thing locked down, JP Morgan and all those guys. Palladium moving sideways. Oh, up today, though. That looks good. Cocoa moving sideways. We've got wheat. Wheat is coming back. And we've got Soybeans coming on back. That's all I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up if you like the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the membership below, the Platinum membership, if you want further details on financial education, where I'm positioning money, my portfolios, when I'm overweight, when I'm underweight, or not as much weight. If you're interested in doing all that, we do have a question and answer session coming up this Saturday. I'm going to do it Saturday, 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we'll get that scheduled. It's on the website if you guys are Platinum members, and the description link to the Zoom call is in there. All right, guys, we'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.